Hi everyone, happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend and cross our fingers that this rain goes away so we can go outside and play for a little bit this evening, right? Or this afternoon. And also cross our fingers that Thursday I get to see you live. I can't stand this at home. I need you to be at school with me so I can see your faces and work with you there. That's so much better for all of us. All right, kiddos. Well, just like a normal school day, I'm going to start off our math class with a Thinkogram. So let me change my computer screen here. Excuse me for a minute. My eyes look all crossed when I go all around. Okay, and there is our Thinkogram for today. So look at it. Look, it's the word vision. It's written there twice. Double vision. I know some of you got it. Good job. Double vision. All right, kiddos. So today's lesson is we are going to create patterns with decimals. So we are going to increase or decrease decimals to find different terms in the pattern, or a sequence we call it. I want to start off with easy ones that you may have done in the past, maybe in like second, third, fourth grade, with whole numbers. And so you can kind of see what I'm alluding to here for a little bit. Okay, let me share my screen again. All right, so over here, I am going to start with a sequence, fairly easy, of numbers. We're going to go 4, 8, okay? And I see here that my numbers, as I go on, they are increasing, right? They're increasing. So if I were to have a rule here, my rule would be to add. Okay, now add what? Now I know that you know it's add 4, but here's what we're going to do today. We're going to take the first two terms and subtract them. Largest number first, 8 minus 4, and you can see that I get an answer of 4. So we're going to take, although we're adding, we have to always subtract these first two terms in order to find out what the difference is. So we know what to add as we go on throughout the sequence. Okay, let me do a subtraction one for you. How about we start with 25 down to 20, down to 15, and so on. And now I want to find that next term right here. So I see that my numbers are decreasing as we go. So my rule would be to subtract. Subtract what? Well, I know you know what it is, but we're going to take these first two terms and subtract them always to find the difference between them. 25 minus 20, we know that it's 5, so my rule is to subtract 5. And if I keep subtracting 5, of course, I will get 10 right here. Okay, so if you would with me, please, I would like you to get out your math book and flip to page 209. And that's where we are right now. We're going to do page 209 together, and then we're going to go you're going to go 2 pages forward, 211 and 212, and that is your homework for tonight. And I have all that written down in the section where you can read here on Canvas. So I have that written down already for you. But if you would please turn to page 209 with me, we're going to start some of this off together, and then you will be on your own to do the homework. Okay? All right, so let's look at number 1 here. It says write the rule for the sequence, and we see here our numbers in the sequence here, our pattern. Now, if you're like me, I see these numbers and they just look all squishy. I don't like it at all. So I'm going to take my pen. You could use a pen, you could use a pencil, doesn't matter to me, and draw lines right over the commas so you see a nice separation of numbers. That looks much better. Okay, and it says here, which I want you to be thinking, is the sequence increasing or decreasing? Are my numbers getting larger as I go, or are they getting smaller? And of course, we see 5/10 up to 1 whole, up to 3 whole, up to 4 whole. So I see that my numbers are increasing, definitely. So that means that my rule must be to add. Now add what? Well, again, we're going to take those first two terms in the sequence and subtract them. Okay, largest number on top. So what are my two numbers there? The largest number on top, and subtract the smallest number. Make sure, kiddos, when you add and subtract decimals, those decimal points are lined up. Boop, boop, boop. 8 minus 5, of course, is 3. 1 minus nothing is 1. So my rule is to add 1 3/10 to every term to go up to the next term. Okay, that's all we're doing for 1 and 2, just finding the rule. All right, over to number 2. I'm going to drag this over because my Mimeo looks a little blurry right now, doesn't it? You have the numbers in your book. Again, please separate your numbers, your terms with that long, like a nice thick line so you can see the numbers nicely. Okay, my rule is either add or subtract based on if my numbers are increasing or decreasing. I see that my numbers go from 23 down to 22, down to 21 and 19, so they're decreasing, so my rule must be that I have to subtract. Subtract what? Well, let's draw a box around those first two terms and write subtract above it, or just abbreviate them. Let's abbreviate that, and when we subtract, the largest digit on the top, or the largest number on the top, so 23 2/10 minus 22 1/10. Draw your long equal sign. Boop, boop, boop. Get your decimal point there. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. And 2 minus nothing is 0. So my rule is to subtract 1 1/10 from each term to get the next term. Pretty easy so far? Good. All right, down to number 3. It says to write a rule for the sequence and then find the unknown term. So 2 sets of directions here. We have to write the rule and find that missing term. Again, trace over those commas so you can see the different numbers nice and easy. All right, so what is our rule? Look at our numbers. Are they increasing or decreasing as the pattern goes on? And of course, we start at 0 and go up to 5, so of course it's increasing. So that means that my rule is to add. Add, what do we say? Draw a box around the first two terms, and we're always going to subtract them. Although my rule is to add, I need to subtract them to find the difference between them to see what I did add to get from here to here. Okay, when I subtract the largest number on the top, so 1 5/10 minus 3/10. Let's subtract them, get that decimal point down there. 5 minus 3, 2, and 1 minus nothing is 1. So my rule is to add 1 2/10. Now the second part here, I have to find that unknown term here. So from 3/10 up to 1 5/10, I added 1 2/10. So now I have to add 1 2/10 to that number prior. So let's write down 1 5/10, that's here. And now I have to use my rule, add 1 2/10. Line up those decimals. You could probably do this one in your head, right? 5 plus 2 and 1 plus 1. So my missing term here is 2 7/10. Alrighty, over to number 4. Let me scooch it over so it's not quite as blurry. There we go. All right, kiddos, draw those lines where the commas are. Good separation. Okay, let's look at our terms. Are they going up, increasing, or decreasing, going down? I can see I go from 19 down to 18, another 18, but these two are 18 8/10, 18 1/10. They're still lowering, so my rule must be to subtract. Subtract what? Well, let's go to those first two terms and subtract them. Remember the largest digit on, or the largest number, I keep saying that. My largest number on the top, 19 5/10, minus 18 8/10. Can I take 5 minus 8? No way, Jose. So let's borrow from that next number over and put your 1 here. I don't have my no button on me. I wish I did today. I'll have it when you come back on Thursday. Okay, get your decimal point down. 15 minus 8 is 7, and 18 minus 18 is 0. So we have our rule is subtract 7/10. Now we need to apply that rule. So let's take the term before it, which is 17 4/10. Use our rule, subtract 7/10. And I can't take 4 minus 7, so go next door. Hey, 7, can I borrow from you? Sure, make me a 6 and put your 1 here in front of the 4. 14 minus 7, a backwards double, 7. And 16 minus 0 is 16. So my missing term here is 16 and 7/10. All right, good so far. Let's go down to the next set of directions. These are a little bit different, not too bad. It says write the first 4 terms of the sequence. Gee, say that 7 times quick. That's a little tongue twister there. Okay, now look at the rule. It says start at 10 and 64 hundredths. So I could actually write that on my first line. Start at 10 and 64 hundredths. And here's my rule. Subtract 1 and 45 hundredths. Okay, so let's put this up at the top here. Can you see this if I write here? Good. 10 and 64 hundredths, and let's use the rule. Subtract 1 and 45 hundredths. All right, are you caught up with me? One good thing about this is if I ever go a little too fast for you, just pause me and I shut up for the time being. Pause me and get caught up. All right, can I take 4 minus 5? No way, Jose, so go next door. Hey, 6, can I borrow from you? Sure. And put your 1 here in front of the 4. 14 minus 5? 9. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down that decimal point. 10 minus 1 is 9. So my next term in my sequence is 9 and 19 hundredths. Okay, now I have to apply that rule again. Subtract 1 and 45 hundredths from that term. Nice and neat, line up those decimals so your tenths are lined up, your hundredths are lined up. Alrighty, kiddos, 9 minus 5. We've got 4, and I can't take 1 minus 4, so I go next door. Hey, 9, can I borrow from you? Sure. 11 minus 4, 7, and 8 minus 1 is 7 as well. So my third term in this sequence is 7 and 74 hundredths. And now use my rule one more time. Subtract 1 and 45 hundredths from that. All right, I can't take 4 minus 5, so I have to go next door and borrow. Make me a 6 and put your 1 here in front of the 4. 14 minus 5 is 9. 6 minus 4, of course you got it, is 2. And 7 minus 1 is 6. So my last term in the sequence is 6 and 29 hundredths. Now kiddos, if at any time you just want to pause and finish the paper on your own, please feel free to do so. Just make sure you go back and listen to me. You could fast forward and find the correct answers to make sure that you have them right. But if you'd like to give it a try on your own, that is absolutely perfect with me. All right, let's do number 6 together. If you are staying with me, it says start at 87 hundredths, and my rule is to add 2 and 15 hundredths. Alrighty, so let's start at 87 hundredths. Write it nice and neat. I'm getting a little blurry here. I'm not sure why this is blurring up for me, but I'm sure you could still see it a little bit. You have your nice book. Okay, add 2 and 15 hundredths. So add 2 and 15 hundredths. Line up those decimal points. Boop, boop, boop. Get it down in your answer. Now we get to add 7 plus 5, 12. Carry your 1. 8 plus these 2 more, 10. Put down your 0. Carry your 1. 1 plus 2. We have 3 and 2 hundredths. 3.02. Okay, now we have to continue with our rule. Add 2 and 15 hundredths to that. Line up those decimals. 2 and 15 hundredths. Boop, boop, boop. Get that decimal down. Okay, let's add up again. 2 plus 5, we have 7. 0 plus 1, 1. And 3 plus 2 is 5. So our third term is 5 and 17 hundredths. Okay, and our last term, again, we want to add 2 and 15 hundredths to that. Okay, 7 plus 5 is 12. Carry our 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3. Bring down your decimal point if you didn't already do so. And we have 7 and 32 hundredths as our final term. I'm going to try to adjust. Oh, there. It got real clear for a second. There we go. Okay, kiddos. Now, even if you didn't pause me yet, I would like you to pause me just to do 7 and 8 on your own. And when you're done, unpause it so you could check the answers, okay? I'm going to write down the answers for you to do. So pause, do them, Go back and check your answers. Okay. Set to start at 19 3/10. We're adding 1 8/10, so 21 1/10, 22 9/10, and 24 7/10. Should be your answer for number 7. Over to number 8. We have starting at 29 7/10. Our rule is to subtract 4/10, so 29 3/10, 28 9/10, and 28 5/10. Those should be your final answers for 7 and 8. All right, darlings, down to number 9. This is a little bit of a word problem here. And Marta likes to save up her money in her piggy bank. It says Marta put $4.87 into her coin bank, and each day she added 1 quarter, 1 nickel, and 3 pennies. How much money was in her coin bank after 6 days? Describe the pattern you used to solve. If we write down the pattern, I don't need you to describe it for me because I'll see it right in front of us. So let's look here. Every day she adds 1 quarter, 1 nickel, and 3 pennies. So I know a quarter is 25, plus 5 more, 30, plus 3 more pennies is 33 cents. We're going to write that as dollars and cents, just 33 cents. Okay, she's going to add that to her coin bank each day. Now, if we could, let's write a little chart at the bottom. We're going to write day, and underneath it on the bottom will be how much money she earned. So I have this line here can be my separation point. Okay, let's number the days going across, but spread them out because the days are only 1 digit and my money is going to have at least 3 digits there. So day 1, day 2, day 3. What does it say to go up to? Day 6. Now we can start this in 2 ways. It specifically doesn't tell us whether on day 1 she puts $4.87 into her coin bank or if that's prior to that. And I would actually accept 2 different answers for this for day 6. I'm going to start there at day 1, her putting in $4.87. And each day, let's add 33 cents to that. If you went on without me and did this a different way, if you had $4.87 over here and your day 1 you added 33 cents, I'll give you that answer at the end as well. Okay, so we have all this room over here. If my little picture over there is in your way, you can move it over. So let's start with the $4.87 in her piggy bank, and let's add to it each day our roll 33 cents. Line up those decimals, and let's do a quick adding. 7 plus 3 is 10, carry your 1. 8 and 1 is 9, plus 3 more is 12, carry your 1. And 1 plus 4 is 5. So on day 2, she's going to have $5.20. I don't need to put a dollar sign here because I have it over here labeled in my chart. Okay, add to that another 33 cents. Okay, line up those decimals, boom, boom, boom. 0 plus 3, easy schmeezy. 2 plus 3 is 5, of course, and 5 plus nothing is another 5. So we have $5.53 for day 3. Let's keep using our roll, add 33 cents. See how nice and easy and organized it is when you make a chart? Okay, line up those decimal points. A doubles fact 3 plus 3, 6. 5 plus 3 is 8. And 5 plus nothing is 5. So she, on day 4, has $5.86. Let's do our roll again, add 33 more cents. Oh, this adds up. We should do this in our piggy banks, right? All right, 6 plus 3, 9. 8 plus 3, 11. Carry your 1. And 1 plus 5 is 6. She's up over $6 on day 5. And day 6, add another 33 cents. 9 plus 3 is 12, carry your 1. 3 plus those 2 more is 5, and $6.52. Final answer. Now, if you did this prior for me doing this with you, if you started $4.87 over here and added 33 cents to day 1. So this would be your day 1. Here would be your day 2. Here would be your 3, 4, 5. If you added 33 more cents to this and got $6.85, I would also accept that. Okay, it doesn't specifically tell us what number to start on. All right, darlings, last problem, yay. Okay, it says, look at this list below. Do the numbers show a pattern? Explain how you know. So I like to separate them with my large bold line, of course. And right away you say, you probably are thinking, yeah, my numbers are getting smaller, they're decreasing. Sure, it's a pattern. You can't just say that, kiddos. You have to prove it. Okay, so I know my rule is to subtract, but subtract what? Well, let's take these first two terms and subtract them. Okay, 11 and 23 hundredths, and let's subtract 10 and 75 hundredths. Okay, can I take 3 minus 5? No way, Jose, so I need to borrow from the 2, make it a 1. Put your 1 that you borrowed right here. 13 minus 5 is 8. And look, I can't take 1 minus 7, so I have to go next door to that number 1. Hey, 1, can I borrow from you? Sure, make me a 0 and put your 1 here. 11 minus 7 is 4. And we have 10 minus 10 is 0. So those two terms, when I subtract them, I get 48 hundredths. Okay, now let's subtract the next two terms and see if we also get 48 hundredths. If so, then it looks like a pattern coming. Okay, so largest number on top, 10.7 or 10.3? Good, 10.7 needs to go on the top, 10.75 actually. And we need to subtract 10 and 3/10. Line up those decimals so your tenths are lined up. The 7 and the 3 are both tenths, so they need to be lined up. Okay, I can put a 0 here if that you want to help you subtract. 5 minus nothing, 5. 7 minus 3 is 4, and 10 minus 10 is 0. Uh-oh, kiddos. Are they subtracting the same number, going and going? Do they have the same rule? No, 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 they do not. So do the numbers show a pattern? No way, they don't. And explain how you know, and we can say that the rule is not followed throughout these terms. Throughout these terms. The same rule must apply. If this one is minus 48 hundredths, then between these two numbers, it must be 48 hundredths, and these two numbers, but the rule is not followed throughout the terms. All right, darlings, your homework for tonight is to do pages 211 and 212 on your own. I have that written on the Canvas board, and you can see, I think I skipped 2 problems there. So you can read about that, which ones to skip. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Tomorrow morning, I will have posted, let me get out of this so I'm stopping my sharing here. Tomorrow morning, I will have the answer key posted for you. So I would like you to check your work. You could use a marker, crayon, whatever you have at home to check your work and make sure that you have the correct answers. And if you need my help at all, I have what's called office hours, where I'm going to have live Zooms with you if you would like my help 3 specific times throughout the day. And that's right on my math, right in Canvas, right under math. It tells you the 3 times that I'm available to meet with you throughout the day. But you have to make sure you click on the correct Zoom link up to the right of the page. All right, darlings, I hope you have a wonderful day. Do your best, and I will see you tomorrow with a new video with a new lesson. Okay, darlings, bye everybody.